consciousness.
Oh, DJ Khaled, Convict Music, we the best. So far. Listen,
spread out with it. South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, on the North Carolina, Philadelphia, Virginia. From down in Miami, where it's warm in the winter. On up to Minnesota, where it's storm in the winter. Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Memphis, 10, holla at me. B&H-Town, Southside, Cloverland, Daddy, I'm the man out in Dallas. Better ass Cali, Catman Cali with my eyes open valley. Blowing and spinning, going down Vinny. Drop 6, 4, 3, wheel and switch it. Red light stop, make it drop for the with it. Anything you hear that I said, I meant it. Can't got the crown, then spit out with it. Say you need I said, I
if
get
you
it.
want to, we can supply you. Got enough work to feed the whole town. They won't shoot unless you try to. Come around and try to stop on our ground. Cause we taking over. Said we taking over. Said we taking over. Said we taking over.
Black flag, we rich. Yeah,
Listen.
bounce. It's what I does. I get money every day I does that. It's how I ride. Black flag on the left too. Ride, you better move. Yeah, get shit like shine that's on my neck. I'm big like Diddy. I'm with it. Cali, we did it. Biggie in my city. Please don't fit it. Hit them too. The bread and get stupid. Money that come running like water. Mommy so hot. Miami on fire, you better be. Might get from the porch of your fortress. Yeah, they see it, but no one.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. We're glad.
Drake, you got a chip.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. Along with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. It's the home of the Pelicans. We are live from New Orleans. And, of course, Kyle Singler.
Kevin, I thought he was really an important player for them, undervalued and not given the credit he deserved. That's not to say the trade was a mistake, but I think they'll miss him more than you might expect.
You know, chemistry-wise, I agree with you, Clark, because he was a glue guy. You know, he's a guy that kind of held things together for them in a few areas, and so not having him around might take some getting used to.
Now the opening lineup for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Inside, you've got Ibaka and Kanter. On the perimeter, it's Waiters and Durant, and it's Westbrook in at the point guard.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead in the cruelest way possible.
You're right. Yeah. Those putback jams sting, don't they? My goodness.
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense. They're hanging their heads in their chest now.
And so here is Oklahoma City. The Pelicans make their last shot.
And guys, it's easy to forget sometimes just how young Kevin Durant still is. I mean, last season, he became the second youngest player to get to 15,000 points. Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Jennings kicks to Middleton. New Orleans moving the ball around. From outside the arc. Can't get it to go.
Boy, he's got a nice-looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, and a lot of times he'll still knock those down no matter how good the D is. The tenacity on the interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds. For Durant getting to 15,000 points, the only player, Clark, to do it quicker was LeBron James.
Yeah, and it's even more impressive when you realize that Durant did spend 1 year in college, Kevin. You take a year off his age, and he and LeBron got to that point plateau in virtually the same amount of time.
Derek Favors checked in for the Pelicans. Gordon comes in for Luke Babbitt. Gordon kicks to Middleton. Outside Favors. Favors with the screen. Davis, the pass to Favors. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
And check out the bounce.
Oh, bounce to the ounce. Clark, how about that?
Yeah.
All right,
You
showing
said
him
it,
off
Kevin.
right there. Good move.
You said it, my man. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen.
Now here's Durant. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
Davis against Ibaka. Favors with the screen. Here's Davis, and the shot is long.
That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside.
And here's Westbrook. An 11-point game for him in the win against Golden State.
Yeah, but he set up shop at the free throw line. I mean, he just could not be defended out on the floor.
That's the end of the quarter.
And Kevin Durant, former MVP, still feels like he has room.
I think it's another level I can go to.
Well, the will seems to be there, Greg, but Kevin Durant seems surrounded by uncertainty. Can he get that and stay healthy for the entire season? How does he work with his new coach? Where does he really want to be?
You know, the truth is, no one but Kevin knows the answers to those questions. And quite frankly, he may not know right now what those answers are. He's a very unique and introspective kind of guy, as we all saw when he accepted that MVP award a couple years ago. So let's just stay tuned on this one.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. And looking at what we've seen from the Pelicans, what do you guys think?
Not much room to operate offensively. The defense has been stifling through the first.
Greg, they haven't given up a lot of easy chances at all.
On the floor for Oklahoma City, getting going here in the second quarter. Durant is out there with McGarry. Then there's Harris. And then there's Steven Adams. And it's Mills in at the shooting guard position. Gobert, he's checked in for the Pelicans. Then for the Thunder, Enes Kanter comes in for Steven Adams. And it's Waiters in for Patty Mills. Wasted no time on that one. That's 7 points for Kevin Durant.
Boy, what a significant turnaround here in the second quarter. At first.
You know, it's interesting. It really had been mostly a cordial relationship between Durant and the media up until last season. And then at the All-Star break, I mean, he had some biting remarks.
Here's Waiters, and it's blocked by Gordon. And that'll be Oklahoma City as it goes out of bounds. Thunder retain possession. Just over 1 minute has passed here in the second quarter. The pass to Babbitt. Gobert with a screen on Durant. Babbitt dishes to Gobert. Unloads from 13. Nice spin off the left rim and in.
The entire defense was frozen foot. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, your
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City. They come in fresh off a win against the Warriors.
And the way they attacked the basket in that game was unreal. I mean, after a while, the defenders seemed to just wave the white flag.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, that's what will happen when a team continues to attack the basket and come away with layups. The defense tends to get demoralized and deflated.
Kanter off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And that putback about as easy a bucket as you're going to get.
Exactly what happens when you don't box out, Greg.
In the corner, McGarry with it. And Harris wide open. He shoots. No good with the triple. Pelicans trail by 3. Gordon for 3. That shot is no good. And he's 1 for 3 from the floor. 2-for-1 opportunity here if they want it.
And no doubt, Kevin, if I'm them, I go for it.
In the corner, it's Harris. Launches a three. Can't get it to go. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. And going against Oklahoma City, their first meeting of the year.
And they won the season series last year, trying to continue those winning ways this time around.
And you look at it, two middle-of-the-pack teams, they both need every win they can get as they try to ensure they get into the playoffs and maybe even get a decent seed.
There's a screen by Cantor. Durant with a wide-open look. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Thunder.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille O'Neal. A competitive matchup for Oklahoma City in the first quarter. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they tried. And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We will see you after the game.
Start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first two quarters. We've seen Kevin Durant really having a great game.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all four quarters.
Jennings out there with Bruce Middleton. Then there's Davis. Then it's Luke Babbitt. And it's Gobert in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's Alvin Gentry's 5 as we get into the second half. Jennings kicks to Davis. Shoots from 8. And the rebound goes to the Thunder.
Yeah, and a big year for Enes Kanter last season. I mean, traded from the Jazz to the Thunder and finally saw the minutes that he was hoping for.
A great assist. Nice work from Russell Westbrook.
Derek Favors checked in for the Pelicans. And Kanter did play well with the increased minutes last season, Clark. Averaged a double-double after the trade.
I think it was a great fit for him in Oklahoma City. He still has work to do, but now that he feels like he's in the right environment, I think we're going to see that great potential of his start to come to fruition.
Shoots it up. Waiters grabs the miss.
I'll tell you what, for what's really an elementary shot, he looked a little nervous on that release.
Stolen by Middleton. Here's Babbitt. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. Babbitt's got 5 now.
Boy, guys, they've shown some great passing on their last few trips down the floor. Excellent.
4 straight passes leading to scores. Great team play.
And the Thunder with some changes. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Kanter. And it's Mills in for Dion Waiters. Here's Westbrook. The stupendous finish in traffic. Westbrook's got the lead up to 6 now for Oklahoma City.
Nothing but money for him to start the half. They've made all 3 of their shot attempts.
And it's Middleton penetrating. Second chance shot. Lays it in without an inch of room around him.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
It's Durant on the wing. Just 5 on the clock. Fires from the corner. No good. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. Looking ahead, they've got the Jazz coming into town for the next game. And that'll be the 3rd of the 4 straight at home. Babbitt kicks to Davis. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Davis has got his 2nd basket of the game.
He's got so much junk in his trunk. He'll find a way to hurt you.
Now here's Mills. He's guarded closely. Here's Westbrook. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It goes on Brandon Jennings.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials.
So for the Pelicans, Gobert comes in for Derek Favors. And Gordon subbed in for Luke Babbitt. Pelicans trail by 3. Jennings kicks to Davis. To tie. And it's Gordon missing. Here's Durant. Great D that time from Jennings. Got it off in time. No good.
Come on, New Orleans. Your Pelicans team.
All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. Pelicans shooting 47% from the floor, getting it done. And Oklahoma City, looking who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Inside, you've got Ibaka and Kanter. Russell Westbrook out there with Mills. And it's Waiters in at the small forward position. The Thunder leading by 3. And here we go with Westbrook running it up the court. No one near him. And good, he nails it. Westbrook's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for Oklahoma City. Jennings passes to Morris. Inside, it's deflected. Stolen by Kanter. Westbrook against Jennings. Now the dish to Mills. And it's off from three-point range. Feeds it to Morris. Ball's knocked loose. Stolen by Waiters. It's off his leg. And the officials saying it was kicked. Some changes for New Orleans. Derek Favors checked in for Gorgui Dieng. And it's Luke Babbitt in for Morris. Waiters against Gordon. And Waiters kicks to Westbrook. Pass to Kanter. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Here's Babbitt, covered by Mills. Babbitt dishes to Jennings. Here's Gobert. Goes back up. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. Chris Middleton's checked in for Eric Gordon. And Oklahoma City with a change here, too. Durant's checked in for Patty Mills. Westbrook kicks to Durant. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. 14 points for Kevin Durant.
A very good half for them from the field. They've got their shooting percentage up over 50%.
Yeah, their offense heating up, and anytime you shoot it this well, you're going to give yourself a chance to get the W.
1:19 left in the fourth quarter. Screen by Ibaka. And Durant, here we go. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Middleton the pass to Favors. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number one right now. Nothing easy on the inside.
Here's Kanter. Count it from 12. Kanter's got the lead up to 8 now for the Thunder.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using his size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master at it.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jump shots.
And Waiters kicks to Westbrook. Back to Waiters. Gobert with the block. But they'll get another chance. Westbrook can't get it to go. And it's the Pelicans' ball. To the inside. Here's Babbitt. Yes! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
The defense has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And I'd be interested to know just how many of these attempts have come from inside of 5 feet.
Here's Waiters. And now we've got the intentional foul.
Yeah, you can't let them hold the ball and just milk those last seconds away.
No, you got to foul. I mean, it's going to come down to free throws here. Foul right away.
And so he drops them both. It's a 5-point game.
2-possession game now, guys. Some very important free throws there.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 5. 17 seconds left in the game. Guys, what do you think?
You know what? It isn't over yet. A quick score and a foul?
And perhaps a few missed free throws, and they're right back in it. So it all has to happen fast, but it could happen.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good. Middleton misses the deep three-point attempt. It's scored by Gobert. So it's Oklahoma's.
Well, Kevin,
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith without Kevin Durant. He put up a new season high tonight. And if he keeps shooting like he did tonight, and that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan,
the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everyone.
New Orleans, land of the Pelicans, in a fine Western Conference battle at the New Orleans Arena. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan to call the game with our analysts Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony.
Here we go.
And, of course, Klay Thompson. It's our first glimpse of him looking good in his new Pelicans jersey.
You know, like you were saying, the trade has the team buzzing. I mean, they're on fire. You can already see it in the warm-ups, how loose and confident they look out there.
You know, it also gives players a huge boost knowing that the guys running this team, the owner, the front office, they also are committed to winning. And so that, in and of itself, I believe, gives a player far more confidence to go out there and compete.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So on the floor for Utah, they've got Ricky Rubio, Lyles out there with Hayward. Then there's Muhammad, and it's Plyce in at the 5.
You know, there are those who wonder if Gordon Hayward can lead a team to the promised land. However, as just a sophomore, he led a non-powerhouse college to a championship game. So, in fact, they were just one basket away from winning it all.
They grabbed their own miss. Lyles no good.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
Jennings dishes to Thompson. It's hauled in by Lyles. Going back to Hayward, he took that buzzer-beating half-court shot, Clark, that would have won his school the championship. You actually called that game, and it did hit the backboard and rim, but unfortunately did not go in.
Well, Hayward's the kind of guy who's willing to put his team on his back and try to carry him. He's willing to take that responsibility on. Whether he can deliver at the highest level, time will tell.
2 on the clock. Here's Plyce, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
And Kevin, plays like that are really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Clark, look at them. They are really into it.
Yeah, they sure are. And that's a little salt in the wound there. I mean, they take a miss and turn it into one of the plays of the game. That hurts.
Yeah, poor job defensively, giving him such a clear look at the basket from three-point range.
The dish to Favors. 50 seconds left here in the opening quarter. There's the bucket. Good.
It took them a while, but finally they take the lid off.
You know, sometimes all it takes is one to get a team going. We'll see if that's the case here.
There's Plyce. Jennings against Rubio. Passes it to Lyles. Here's Plyce. Hayward outside. And it's Hayward again missing.
Fadeaway was the right shot there because it got his attempt away from the defender, but the touch was poor.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we could see right there why he does.
That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio.
Yeah, strong move to the basket there. Nice power to get that up and in.
Thompson inside the line, and it's New Orleans scoring again.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Utah out in front, up 4. From New Orleans, back in a moment. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And taking a look at the Jazz performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
Right from the start, they have been able to really own that paint and just dominate the backboard.
Well, Greg, you can't dominate the boards unless all 5 guys are making the effort to box out and chase down the ball.
So on the floor for Utah, Burke and Exum in the backcourt. Hayward out there with Batum, and it's Booker in at the 5 down low. Now here's Batum. Hayward goes in. Good work defensively by Morris.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
And you know, Gordon Hayward was involved in one of the more fascinating NBA draft stories. It started after his father confirmed that Gordon would submit his name to the draft but would not immediately hire an agent.
Yeah, reportedly, Dad created a highly detailed 2-page questionnaire that he gave prospective agents, which is not something that's typical.
Pelicans trail by 3. Morris outside. Jang inside, defended by Booker. Fader on the way, and yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. And we play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. At the top of the key, Batum. Here's Burke. It's rebounded by New Orleans. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season.
Yeah, and they took care of business against this group last year, winning the season series.
Yeah, Greg, you're right. They're the better team. I mean, they expect to win this matchup. We'll see if they can take care of business tonight.
Now Exum after the missed 3 from Klay Thompson. And that one's good. Burke.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
And that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
Utah calls timeout. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint, plain and simple.
Here's Lyles. There's a screen. Here's Muhammad. And that's collected by Gay.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Yeah, tit for tat on the glass. Just one more aspect of what's been a very closely contested ball game here.
Deflects the pass. Nato, defended by Chalmers. Nato, pass to Muhammad, unloads. The Jazz again can't hit it. It's a tie game in New Orleans.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, this has been a good game here after one half. A competitive matchup for New Orleans in the first quarter. Their field goal percentage was a robust 50%. And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. Ricky Rubio with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And what he gives his team, guys, is an edge. He just lights up an arena when he gets it going. And in that first half, young fella had it going.
Not just an edge, though, Greg. I think he gives them a confidence and a swagger they wouldn't otherwise have. And he's a special player to have around, no doubt about that.
We've got Rudy Gay. Jennings out there with Klay Thompson. And it's Rudy Gobert. And it's Favors in at the 4. So that's the group out there for New Orleans.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
Here's Lyles. Banked in off the glass. Lyles got 5. Pelicans trail by 5. Ricky Rubio, Clark, one of the most highly anticipated international players in recent memory to come into the NBA.
Yeah, he's got an awful lot of flash and substance to his game, and after much haggling and negotiating, he was finally allowed to join the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2011.
Here is Hayward. Derek Favors making his last shot. There's the screen, and Muhammad kicks to Hayward. Nice ball movement by Utah. Muhammad, the pass to Hayward. Shot clock at 5. And again, it's Utah.
And back to Rubio. With the pressure of all that fanfare marking his arrival, he really focused in and hit the ground running. He was named Western Conference Rookie of the Month, first month of the season, and he finished second to Kyrie Irving for Rookie of the Year.
Gorgie Dangs checked in for Derek Favors. Dante Exum, he's checked in for Utah. Jang. And again, New Orleans has no luck. Jazz leading by 5. First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Here's Rubio. Here's Lyles. The pass to Pleiss. Dishes it to Rubio. Hayward against Gay. Hayward passes to Pleiss, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances? A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
You know, talking about Rubio, he re-upped for a huge contract extension last season. Despite some injury and shooting woes, he got $56 million over 4 years. Boy, that's a bunch of cheese for a guy that's still a bit of a question mark. And, you know, guys, Dante Exum is such a fluid, versatile athlete, really shows great promise, has tremendous size and length for a point guard, can also play the 2. His rookie season last year, though, a mixed bag.
Morris is checked in for New Orleans. Chalmers comes in for Brandon Jennings. Then for the Jazz, Booker, he's checked in for Pleiss. Batum comes in for Lyles. And it's Burke in for Ricky Rubio. Now, here is Morris. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Thompson with it. Now defended by Exum. Launches it. Trying to get open as Jang. And again, no good by New Orleans.
Unfortunately, that's been the result for him over and over, guys. He just cannot find the bottom of the basket.
Hayward against Gay. Hayward dishes to Burke. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. The third.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Pelicans.
Well, welcome back as we get set to start the fourth. Pelicans trail by 8, so on the floor for Utah. Ricky Rubio is out there with Shabazz Muhammad. Then there's Trevor Booker. Then there's Batum, and it's Pleiss in at the center position. Here's Muhammad. The turnaround jumper. Count it. Muhammad's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for Utah.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
They haven't had as much success in the paint here. Everything has been from the perimeter here in the second half. And that's not a winning strategy. They've got to get back to getting that ball inside.
Jazz leading by 7. He dishes it to Rubio. High arcing shot. Here's Booker, and the rejection by Favors. And now the Pelicans on the break. Morris with the ball, and the basket by Chalmers.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Now, here's Rubio. Pass to Pleiss. And Booker kicks to Batum. To the wing on the left. Shot clock at 5. Here's Muhammad. Pelicans pull it in. 1:51 left to play here in the fourth. Chalmers with it. Now defended by Muhammad. Here's Favors, and it's New Orleans scoring again.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
That's got to be job number one right now. Nothing easy on the inside.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Quinn Snyder was saying to his team. With the game hanging in the balance, he tried to give his players some added motivation, saying, quote, "This is the time, guys. Right now. Be in this moment. Do your job, and we'll get the win." Back to you.
Pelicans trail by 3. Jennings passes to Favors. Rudy Gay on the wing. He feeds it to Jennings. And Thompson kicks to Gobert. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
Gordon Hayward's checked in for the Jazz. 1:19 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Low block shot. Another shot. Lyles no good. Here's New Orleans. Right now they're on a 9-0 run to take the lead, and that one goes long. Utah has gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Muhammad with it, and Jennings picks him up defensively. Thompson against Hayward. To the middle. There's Price. Count it!
Those are huge points.
Beyond huge, partner. I mean, they needed that bucket desperately.
Thompson outside. It's good. This game is all even.
And finally, they fought themselves back to even the score. We've got a new ball game here now.
And really, all the momentum is theirs, making such a strong comeback. So I think you've got to really feel good about their chances the rest of the way.
And here's Hayward after the three-pointer from Klay Thompson. Hayward passes to Lyles. It's stolen by Gobert. Gay kicks to Jennings. Count it!
Shot after shot, one after the other. Brandon Jennings getting it done.
Utah calls timeout. They're trailing by 2. We've got 13 seconds left in the fourth. What do you think, guys?
And it all comes down to this. Still enough time on the clock that they should be able to get a real good look.
Yeah, and in this case, you debate often. You hear guys debate whether to take a 2 for the tie or a 3 to win. In my case, with this situation, I think you go hard inside and see if you can get a good shot in close.
And how about the move he made there to come up and get himself clear in the lane for the deuce?
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over. The score knotted at 31. 1 second left in the fourth quarter. Thompson for 3. Oh, couldn't sink the shot, and we're going to overtime. Time expires, and we're going. Well, if you love great competition and neck-to-neck basketball action, this one has been a great one. Overtime number 1. Getting going right now. So the Pelicans win the tip. And so they have the first opportunity on offense right here as we begin overtime. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. Taking a look at the Jazz. Utah calls timeout. They're losing by 2. We've got 1:55 left in the first overtime. Yes, and the foul. That one on Thompson.
Big time basket there on the inside. I mean, he had to get that one up and over the big guy.
Way up and over the big guy, and what a time in the ball game to make it happen. And how big was that sequence? Ties it up with the tough basket and takes the lead with the and one.
Now here's Favors. He claims that one off the back iron, and down it falls. And the Pelicans lead by 1. So for the Jazz, their last game a loss to the Atlanta Hawks. Feeds it to Muhammad. Charity stripe shot. Derek Favors with the rebound. Down low. Got a piece of it. Nato. He's covered by Gay. Muhammad with it. Working on Thompson. Puts it up from 12. That one off the back iron and out. Muhammad's gone 2 for 8, shooting just 25% from the field. Jennings kicks to Favors. And now Utah, fast break. Batum leading the charge. Can't hit. Good D by Thompson.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going in this quarter.
Jennings kicks to Thompson. Now the feed to Jang. The jump hook connects.
Still a chance here, but they need to score.
I really agree, but it has to happen on every possession. They need points every trip.
Now here's Batum. Lyles passes to Batum. The Jazz working the ball around now. Clock at 6. Here's Muhammad. Good D by Thompson. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And you know what, Greg? Who knows? A few misses at the stripe, and they're right there within range. You know, late game free throws are a lot different than early game free throws in terms of making.
He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game.
Clutch free throws there. That should ensure they're going home with the W.
Utah calls timeout. They're down by 5. 9 seconds left in overtime. What do you think, guys?
You know, and not only do you want to draw up a score here, but it's got to be a quick one.
Yeah, it has to be quick. They've got to convert, and then there has to be an immediate foul.
So we see the Pelicans get the win here. They escape with a victory, although they needed Clark an extra period to get it done.
Well, I think we'll...
Hi, Kevin.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet. Klay Thompson. Shaq, what'd you like about his game?
His play tonight, Ernie, was finally a bright spot for them because, you know, they had a very rough stretch of games. It's been
And, folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. We're glad to have you with us on 2K Sports. We'll watch the Brooklyn Nets in this one as they go up against the New Orleans Pelicans at Smoothie King Center. Well, for New Orleans, it's been a difficult season for them in many ways, and at this stage, they're not even among the top 10 teams in the West. Instead, 11th in the conference. Almost the end of the regular season, several teams looking very good for the playoffs. Kenny, what's more valuable, having well-rested players or getting home court advantage?
Easy. If you're banged up, rest. If you're healthy, home court advantage.
It's the Pelicans at home for a little interconference action in New Orleans. You're in for a treat as we bring you NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines. And, of course, Klay Thompson. This outing only his second game since the trade.
And speaking of the trade, I spoke to him earlier, and he's very excited about getting a fresh start with his new team. He thinks he'll be able to get them to that next level.
And this team takes on an entirely different look when he's on the floor. I mean, you've got to believe it's going to improve them by leaps and bounds.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. They've got Bargnani, Udrich out there with Wayne Ellington. Then it's Brook Lopez, and it's Johnson in at the 3 slot.
And they get the first bucket.
And they'll hope that sets the tone at the offensive end going forward. It doesn't always work out that way, but better to start fast than not.
Watching Brook Lopez, he all the time contributes in every category. It's amazing the number of Clark ways he affects the game.
Deadly with the shot. Tremendous touch back to the basket, moves, facing up, makes free throws. Good offensive rebounder, capable passer. He just makes things happen.
Now here's Ellington. And it's Lopez. That time on the assist by Ellington.
I don't know. Maybe they're still working out the kinks on D because that clearly was a breakdown.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
I got to find something. You're right. Chalmers passes to Gobert. There's Jennings with the 3. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And talking about Lopez, he does clean the glass on the offensive end. He was 12th in offensive rebounds last year. However, he was 44th in defensive rebounds. That's one important area he definitely has to work on.
Brooklyn with the ball, following Brandon Jennings' 3. Here's Bargnani. Second shot opportunity, and it's Lopez laying it in. Lopez has got 6 points.
Defensively, that possession better not start a trend because they just handed him 2 points.
Here's Favors, the rebound by the Nets.
You know, getting back to Lopez, how good is it to have a guy with his offensive package also be a near top 10 shot blocker for you? That's what he was last season and several seasons before that. He's an all-star talent if he can just stay on the court and stay healthy.
13 feet away. Favors with the rebound. The Pelicans have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Now here's Johnson. 8 points his last outing. Here's Udrich. Shot clock at 6. He kicks it to Lopez. The high post shot. It's good. This time the assist Lopez.
Udrich with the excellent feed that time.
First quarter of play. We're about 3 minutes in. Jennings kicks to Chalmers. 3 seconds left. No what?
Ladies and gentlemen, your Pelicans.
And that's it. Coach Lionel Hollins known for his no-nonsense style, but he'll tell. I still don't think that Coach Hollins is anyone to be trifled with, then I think the net players would agree with me on that one.
Oh, yes, I know they've got that one figured out. And I do, too, as a matter of fact. The last thing anybody on the team better be doing is laughing at Lionel Hollins. Just ask Darren Williams.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And from Brooklyn, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
You know what? They're dominating on the backboards. They have controlled the paint thus far.
Flexing their muscles down low, and they've limited second chances, too, guys.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. We've got Hollis Jefferson. Splitter is out there with Robinson. Then it's Jarrett Jack, and it's Ellington in at the 2 spot.
And Thomas Robinson has been on a lot of teams here in his short time in the league. Not easy to find a spot when you're always getting moved.
Now here is Jack. 5-point lead, the biggest of the game. Off the mark from 16 feet out.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Ellington kicks to Jack. There's a screen by Robinson. And Jack, here we go. Splitter passes to Hollis Jefferson. Robinson, great positioning on the putback.
He never gives up on a missed shot. He feels like everyone is his, and that tip-in paid off for him.
Chalmers dishes to Morris. 7-foot shot. And a kind rollback time off the rim as that one falls. And we're about 2 minutes into the second quarter here. Brooklyn leading by 5. And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn, getting their first of the season at this Pelicans team.
And it wasn't a matchup they fared well in last year, as they just couldn't figure this team out.
0-2 for them in this matchup last year, Greg. Both teams fighting every second of the way, trying to push into the playoff in their respective conferences.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Jack. Favors comes in for Marcus Morris. Rudy Gay's checked in for Luke Babbitt. And it's Jennings in for Cotton. So it's Brooklyn now, following the score by New Orleans. Lopez a screen. Here's Udrich, defended by Chalmers. Shot from 12. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And Beno Udrich, a 6'3" lefty combo guard out of Yugoslavia. He can run the pick and roll and has really improved from mid-range. Can square up and bury it at a moment's notice.
And the Nets making a change here. Bargnani's checked in. Jennings with the ball. Now Jack defending. Gay against Johnson. Jennings kicks to Favors. They set the pick. Just 5 on the clock. Again, the Pelicans score.
That was big because they dug a big hole in the first quarter, but starting to show signs of life.
Sometimes, for whatever reason, a lot of times you don't know why. It takes a little while to work the knots out, but it looks like they're putting it together right now.
Nobody near Gay. And down it goes just as the clock hits 0.
How about the timing? An unbelievable.
And we're through the first.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Brook Lopez came out on a mission in the first. He had 8 points and 3 rebounds. And from what we saw so far from the Nets, and that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
It's been a good night for Brook Lopez. He has 8 points, and he's getting it done on the glass, too.
You're right, Clark. He's done some real nice work on the inside.
They've got Gobert. Favors is out there with Rudy Gay. Then there's Chalmers. And it's Jennings in at the one. That's Alvin Gentry's 5 as we get into the second half. No good from Gay. The Nets with the lead. Johnson in the corner. The 3. And it's Johnson again missing. Gay passes to Gobert. Back to Gay. Johnson against Chalmers. Puts up the baby hook. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And guys, you see how Rudy Gay just exploded last season in the second half. I mean, I think he felt at ease in George Karl's system. And I think that's one reason why you're starting to see just how good Rudy Gay can be.
Cotton's checked in for the Pelicans. And a change for the Nets. Splitter's checked in for Bargnani. Splitter sets a screen. Here's Udrih. He's guarded by Jennings. Udrih dishes to Lopez. Gobert with the block. Here's Splitter. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. They get Derek Favors.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there. Earned those free throws.
For a long time, critics have gotten on Gay for his lack of efficiency, but he quieted some of those voices, Clark, last year with his playing stats.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, across the board, he made nice improvements, not only in his scoring, but also his ability to create shots for others.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Gorgui Dieng's checked in for Favors. And Morris subbed in for Cotton. And then for Brooklyn, Thomas Robinson, he's checked in for Lopez. Hollis Jefferson subbed in for Johnson. Here's Dieng, loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
It's all about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
Jennings kicks to Gobert. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. The Pelicans have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
At the line for your Pelicans.
No good on the free throw. And the Nets making a change here. Jack's checked in.
2 shots.
He doesn't get the second one.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And, Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
And here's the fast break. Udrih leading the way. Here's Robinson. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Now it's a 5-point Brooklyn lead. Well, for New Orleans, shooting at 50% in a decent groove. Chang against Robinson. The jump hook. Chang, no luck. Last game for Brooklyn, they picked up the W against San Antonio.
And the deciding factor in that one was their success from the floor. I mean, they just hit big shots time and time again.
Yeah, just the way you want it when you're the road team. Don't even give the fans a chance to get into it.
Gay passes to Jennings. Morris outside. Gay in the corner. Pass to Gobert. He's whistled for the 5-second back to the basket violation. And we've reached the end of the third. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. And so it's New Orleans with it, trailing by 5. On the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going. Johnson is out there with Bargnani. Then it's Brook Lopez. Then it's Jarrett Jack. And it's Ellington in at the 2. Baines up and in from the low block. Baines has got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Pelicans. Jack against Jennings. Picked by Bargnani. Pass to Johnson. Bargnani dishes to Jack. Great D that time from Favors. So it's the Pelicans now. It's a three-point game, and the basket by Chalmers.
Unbelievable basket. I mean, giving up a lot of height there, but he was not to be denied.
Not when the game's hanging in the balance. That makes it a little different. He was going to get to the rim no matter who was standing in the way on that one.
They get it back. Second chance shot, and the nice bucket inside from Lopez. And the Nets lead by 3.
The tenacity on the interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
Bargnani against Favors. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
And the defense we've seen today reminds me of that great defensive era back in the 80s. Wouldn't you say so, Clark?
Well, hold up now, Greg. Let's wait a minute. I know you played in the 90s and you were part of the Knicks teams that were known for defense and mugging guys. But there was defense played in the 80s, but it was a more free-flowing offensive game, and that's the way I choose to look at what we're seeing now. This is the beautiful game on display between the lines.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hey, guys, over that break, I was able to catch the message Lionel Hollins was giving to his team. He said, guys, this is the kind of game we're capable of playing when we put our minds to it. I knew we had it in us, just like I know we're going to come out on top. Let's finish this thing. Guys?
And since halftime, this has become an intense ball game.
Simply phenomenal, Greg, the effort we've seen from both sides here.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're behind by 1. 1:19 left to play in the final quarter. Beno Udrih, he's checked in for Jarrett Jack. 1:19 left in the game. And Udrih kicks to Lopez. Unloads from 13. It's good. This time the assist from Udrih. Udrih has got 4 assists now tonight. To the right side. Chalmers best to Dang. Poked loose and stolen by Ellington. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. Here's Lopez. Money! And we'll get a... look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Nets.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnover.
What a bucket at one of the more crucial moments of the game.
How about the cool, collected way in which he delivered it? Clutch.
No good. And New Orleans will come the other way. Guys, this possession could decide their fate.
So that means they've got to be very careful with the basketball right now. This is exactly what you can expect when you allow Rudy Gay to heat up. He's hard to cool off.
Timeout called the Nets. They're trailing by 1. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. There's 25 seconds left here in the fourth quarter.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
And you know what, Greg? Who knows? A few misses at the stripe, and they're right there within range. You know, late game free throws are a lot different than early game free throws in terms of making them. That last free throw was critical. Their only choice now is to go for the 3 to tie.
Udrih dishes to Lopez. Ellington kicks to Johnson. And too long on the shot.
Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage.
And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss.
2 shots.
And the second of 2 is good. That gives them a 4-point cushion. Bargnani inside the three-point line. It's good. So it's a narrow victory for the Pelicans, pulling it out for the W. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as Clark, they continued to...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Derek Favors. He was the steady and reliable hand throughout the game tonight, stepping into more of a leadership role in this performance tonight.
There are a lot of fantastic...
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille...
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello,
And a view here of the Spirit, the official name of Michael Jordan's statue standing outside the United Center. It's a West versus East contest here in the windy city of Chicago, Illinois, as the Bulls play one at home. Welcome to Noche Latina here in the NBA. A Latin flavor to the night's festivities as we get ready to go. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. Now, the opening lineup for the New Orleans Pelicans. Jennings out there with Chalmers. And it's Rudy Gobert. Then there's Rudy Gay. And it's Favors in a power forward position. Now here's Rose. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Fade away. No good from Gasol. So many people overlook Pau Gasol prior to last season. Seemed to think that Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
And so it's New Orleans with it. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have.
Now here's Rose. Rudy Gobert missing his last shot. Snell, no good.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
And Chalmers kicks to Jennings. And stolen by Jordan. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Derrick Rose has certainly piled up the awards for such a young player, starting with Rookie of the Year, the 111 first place votes to only 5 for the runner-up. We know about his MVP, and that just shines out so brightly for him.
And how about he and Michael Jordan, the only MVPs in Chicago Bulls history?
Now here's Gobert. Fires it up. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
Worked that one inside nicely.
Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter.
You know, looking back to Rose's MVP award, his stats were on another planet that year. He was only the 3rd player to record 2,000 points and 600 assists in a single season since 1973. The other 2, LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Now Gay, following the three-point attempt by Derrick Rose. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
You know, in talking about D. Rose, I don't think the individual awards mean much to him. He's about trying to help his team win championships. And that's the kind of mindset he has to continue to display.
Chicago making some changes. Portis, he's checked in for Gasol. Iritic comes in for Tony Snell. And it's Brooks in for Derrick Rose. And then for New Orleans, Jang, he's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Morris comes in for Derek Favors. And Cotton subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Now here's Brooks. Iritic has a wide open look. And again, Chicago, no good. Inside. And Morris throws it down.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
17 seconds left to play here in the first. Iritic against Gay. That's good. Iritic has got his first bucket in this one.
Not trying to rattle any rims or racks there. Just up and in with the finger roll.
Jennings for 3. Can't get it to go. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Pelicans. And DeAndre Jordan not a focal point offensively for this team, but as a defender, he understands. Jordan, a man who knows what his job is, and he likes his job, Clark, and does it very, very well. He is excelling.
Yeah, he is. He may not be the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year, but he is certainly the Clippers' Defensive Player of the Year. Jordan's become a defensive beast, an animal defensively, and really the thing of it is he's still learning and growing, and he's going to continue to get better, which is scary.
And Buenas noches, basketball fans. It's Latin night here on 2K Sports. And you might have noticed the custom jerseys worn by the players. Guys, what stands out to you from the Pelicans in this one?
I just don't know that you're going to see a better quarter defensively than what we saw in the first.
Really a big part of why they're on top here. The defense has been on point.
So for New Orleans right now, we've got Aaron Baines. Favors is out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Chalmers, and it's Cotton in at the 1 spot.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But boy, that was a nice job.
And the shot is good.
Aaron Baines.
1:53 left to play here in the second quarter.
Timeout for the Bulls.
And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
Bravo Bulls, give them a hand. Come on, Chicago.
Stolen by Chalmers. Morris kicks to Favors. Outside Rose. And again, no good by Chicago. Nikola Mirotic, drafted as a late first-rounder, Clark, back in 2011. The Spanish star finally made his rookie debut in the NBA last season, and it was worth the wait.
It sure was, Kevin. I mean, once he started to get consistent PT, I mean, he was remarkable. Can run like the wind for a big guy, not that strong, but more aggressive than you'd think.
Pelicans leading by 4. Cotton, the pass to Morris. And out of bounds it is. Last touch by Mirotic. Let's use this break in the action to show you the teams that in the last 10 games have been the NBA's best fast break teams. Pelicans, number 1. Number 5, the Bulls.
Both of these teams have established tempo as an identity. I mean, they're playing fast and scoring in bunches.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season. So for the Bulls, DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Tony Snell. Jimmy Butler comes in for Aaron Brooks. And Jameer Nelson is subbed in for Rose. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Gobert, he's checked in for Aaron Baines. Gorgui Dieng comes in for Derek Favors. Rudy Gay's checked in for Marcus Morris. And it's Jennings in for Cotton. Nelson dishes to Butler. Gobert pulls it in.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Gay can't get it to go.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Mirotic gets the bucket.
Still trailing, but their offense is off life support here in the second quarter. It's got a pulse.
Good point, Clark. They're starting to make some shots, looking to try and get back in this.
Kicks it out to Gay. Dishes it to Chalmers. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. Jennings passes to Gobert. Just 5 to shoot. The jump hook and misses it off the right side of the rim. And that's not going to go. And so it's a close kick.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny. A competitive matchup for New Orleans in the first quarter. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. And that'll do it for now as we send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. DeAndre Jordan has been extremely productive over 7 years. That makes it even more unbelievable that there was some question, Clark, as to his commitment to basketball coming into the league.
Yeah, you know, on talent and athleticism alone, he would have been a top 10 pick for sure, but he slipped to the second round, and he's made good on it, though.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. So for Chicago right now, Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Pau Gasol is out there with Jordan, and it's Snell in at the small forward.
And watching DeAndre Jordan, he's really refined his game over the years without losing the athleticism. He's that rubbery, long-limbed athlete that transcends age. And so far, I've seen 0 drop-off in his leaping ability and quickness, but no question he's improved his skills and IQ.
Here's Gay, flushes it down to finish the break.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
Chicago calls timeout.
And talking about DeAndre Jordan, he is displaying an energy level that many scouts wondered if he had. Let's face it, he underachieved a bit in his 1 year in college. He knows that. But when it's come time to do it at the highest level, DeAndre has risen to the occasion.
Chicago making a switch here. Portis is checked in. Morris is checked in for New Orleans. Luke Babbitt comes in for Rudy Gay.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
And good on the basket. Book it. Butler's got 5 points so far.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Now, here is Morris. Defense is right there. It's rebounded by Portis. Last outing for the Bulls, it was a loss to the Nets in Brooklyn. Jordan, the pass to Portis. Rose against Jennings. Rose attacking. Can't get it to go. Great D that time from Jennings. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Babbitt kicks to Favors for 3. Babbitt's shot is off.
Kevin, just enough presence to bother that three-point attempt there.
Yeah, but and that's how it's done. I mean, find that hole in the D and then go hard to the rack.
Maybe that hole was a little bigger than it should have been.
Well, it was. I mean, a tight game like this one, you'd think they'd have a little more energy at the defensive end than that.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. And Favors kicks to Morris. The jump hook. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Morris has got his 3rd basket of the night. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. New Orleans on top. They're up by 4. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get... Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. So it's the Pelicans now. 4-point game. So the Pelican 5 right now. We've got Rudy Gay. Jennings out there with Chalmers. And it's Rudy Gobert. And it's Jang in at the 4 slot. Gay kicks to Gobert. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Dang. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Jang's got the lead up to 6 now for the Pelicans. Brooks against Chalmers. Brooks outside. Inside. And the rejection by Jang. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a 3-point play. Going to the line for 1.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
Pelicans leading by 3. And Chalmers kicks to Gay. Stolen by Brooks. Jennings against Mirotic. The leader. And the rebound goes to the Pelicans. Gobert's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Pass to Dang. 1:44 left in the 4th quarter. And is back to the basket for over 5. That'll be a turnover.
You know, sometimes the intensity of the game can lead to brain-neutral plays like that, guys.
Just trying to get a break in the action to clear some heads here. I mean, they've gone ice cold, and not a bad idea to give them a little quick breather.
Yeah, they needed the timeout here. Anything to try to get them to forget about the missed shots and get themselves back on track.
Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
I was able to listen in on what Chicago's coach was going over with his team. He told them to stick with what's worked to this point, saying, listen, they're giving us all the space we need inside. Let's take advantage of it. Keep working the ball inside the paint.
Thanks, Doris. The drive by Brooks. Rebound by Dang.
Hey, I like creativity and a circus finish as much as anybody. But you better be sure you got a chance to make it.
Hey, that's good.
The defense just gets caught standing around that time and giving up the second chance opportunity.
You know, that just can't happen. They need much more effort than that on the glass.
Chicago calls timeout. They're down by 5. 1:24 left in the 4th quarter. Chicago making some changes. Tony Snell's checked in for Mirotic. Butler comes in for Brooks. And it's Rose in for Nelson. And New Orleans also making a change. Favors is checked in. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
He's able to hit the second one, and that shrinks the margin to just 4.
That one miss was huge. He had a chance to turn this into a one-possession game.
It's Gay on the way. Too long in the paint. He's hit with a 3-second violation. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Pelicans.
And really all game long, they've been able to excel with their post game, just dominating on the low block.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Outside Favors. He feeds it to Chalmers. 6 on the shot clock. There's Jennings with the 3. They grab their own miss. Gobert. It's stolen by Rose. To the paint, poked loose. It's stolen by Gobert. Gay left side. Left block shot on the way. That drops.
Just no let up, guys. They just keep coming at you.
Well, this lead is too big to overcome. I'm going out on the limb right now. There's just not enough time left on the clock to make up the ground they have to make up.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
And he commits the intentional foul. .35 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Rose with the double team. Jennings kicks to Gobert. Right side Favors. And an intentional foul right there. It's the first, and that increases their lead to 6.
Rudy Gobert.
And so he drops them both. It's a 7-point game.
No mistakes there. Good free throws to give them just a little bit more cushion.
Chicago calls timeout. They're losing by 7. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here's Butler. It's rebounded by New Orleans. 24 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Gay kicks to Favors. New Orleans moving the ball around. 12 seconds left in the game. Jennings for 3. Jimmy Butler with the rebound.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we have the opportunity to present our Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert is a game changer, guys. He had a major effect on this game. First and foremost, his length causes so many problems at both ends of the floor. He's developed into one of the NBA's towers of terror.
Well, he showed us just how good he can be when he's at the top.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From myself, Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.